It hasn't said that. What he's just said is this is a permanent change to the way we do things. I am not convinced. This is oppressive, it's authoritarian and...
One of Labour's own just said the quiet part out loud. Not a Tory. Not reform. A Labour MP, a man who built his career on the rights of working people, stood up in Parliament and called his own government authoritarian. The government wants to remove your right to a jury trial. Not temporarily. Permanently. And the justification they're giving does not hold up to scrutiny. Watch the moment he turns to the Deputy Prime Minister directly. Watch what happens to the argument. The real moment comes right at the end. If you want to see more videos like this, hit the like and subscribe button and don't forget to ring the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Now let's watch this together and I'll share my thoughts at the end.
John Trickett.
Thank you very much, ma'am. And when I was working for a living rather than being here as a building worker, if there was a backlog of work, we were told to work through the night, on weekends and not on very much additional pay. And I wonder how it is that today in our country 1/10 of all the courts are not even sitting with the backlog which the Deputy Prime Minister has told us about, many of the people have spoken about. Why is it that when there's a backlog, manual workers as I was are made to work hard and rightly so to catch up? And why is it the barristers, the judges, the solicitors and all the other accoutrements of a court simply said, well, we'll actually make it easy for you by reducing the amount of juries which are going to be held? It's rather odd. And the Deputy Prime Minister... No, I've got 5 minutes, I'm going to move fast. The Deputy Prime Minister, what he hasn't done is shown to my satisfaction that the cause of the backlog is the juries. And in fact, there is much evidence to say that that is a marginal impact at the most. The cause of the backlog is all sorts of things, including the failure of the courts to meet for long enough hours as the rest of the country. Working people have to do all over the country. If the Deputy Prime Minister had come here and said, the world has changed, the country's changed, our way of looking at the judicial system has to be reformed, he would have a case maybe. I wouldn't necessarily agree with it. But he hasn't said that. He said this is a contingent problem. So the thing is, one of the things I used regularly when I was working for a living was something called a ratchet. I don't know if the DPM has ever used one. But a ratchet is a device which only moves in one direction. And what we've had over centuries, and I've used them many times, is a ratchet in terms of the protections which citizens have through the jury system from an oppressive government. Now, if the Deputy Prime Minister had come to the House and said, I'm going to do some things which are extraordinary but temporary until we get over this problem, dealing with the problems facing all the victims, I might well be prepared to listen to him. But it hasn't said that. What he's just said is this is a permanent change to the way we do things. I am not convinced. This is oppressive, it's authoritarian and...
That was not a Tory. That was not reform. That was Labour. A former building worker. A man who spent his life being told that when there is a backlog, you work harder. Longer hours. Weekends. You do not get to change the rules to make the problem disappear quietly. But that is precisely what this government is doing. They are not fixing the courts. They are not extending sitting hours. They are not asking the legal establishment to work the way ordinary British people have to work every single day. They are removing your right to be judged by a jury of your peers. Not as a temporary emergency measure. Permanently. That is not efficiency. That is the state quietly dismantling a protection that British citizens have held for centuries and hoping you do not notice. This is not about courts. This concerns whether the government can infringe upon your rights to address a problem it has created. Should British citizens accept that? If you want to see more videos like this, hit the like and subscribe button and don't forget to ring the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Thanks for watching.